Hey, grown folks. Hello. Good evening. This is your hostess with the mostest, Donna Smith, aka Lady D. I'm here. Hey, I'm sometimes wondering, why am I here? But I know why I'm here because I got something that I want to say. Anyway, I'm here tonight to talk about some grown folk topics. Um, I I just had a thought about one hot one that I'm just going to put out here. I don't care. I'm just going to put it out here. And it has to do with sex. Yes, sex. Sex. Okay? Now let's talk about it. Now, I've gotten feedback from some people who say, we don't have sex that much anymore. My mate only wants sex once a month. Then you have some who come to me and say, he wanted all the time or she wanted all the time. I don't know what the problem is. Every time I turn around, they tearing my clothes off. I can't get home from work good. I can't sit down. And I don't always, and believe me, listen, y'all, there's some men who complain too about some hot women. So yeah, I know that's rare, but they do. So, she's always trying to tear my clothes off and get it and all this. And man, a brother just want a cold beer, a recliner chair, a remote control, and I want to be left alone. Really? You know, I I guess each individual relationship or marriage, each individual one is different. You have two that come together that's hot and on fire for each other, and you have some who could take it or leave it. And I really believe, just based on my own personal opinion, that these are things that need to be determined in the beginning of your getting to know, becoming friends, and then elevating to any type of relationship. You need to know if you're on the same page with each other. If you're dating Lazy Susie Booty, who says, I don't like to have sex that much, but, I'll do it just because that's what you want. If you have that, then you already know her heart is not totally into wanting to do it all the time. And you want to do it all the time, right? So why are you with Susie Boozy, lazy Susie Boozy? Or that man, ladies, who is always trying to hop on you like a hyena. Yeah, I said it. Hyena. And get it in and get his and roll over and go to sleep. And you're like, what? I am just outdone. He wants to do this all the time. And all the time, I'm not really getting much out of it, but I don't like having sex every day. And I keep telling him that I'm tired, that I just don't want to do it all the time. And he thinks that I'm having an affair with someone else. And it goes on and on and on and on. So what do you do about this uneven balance with being with someone who does not want to do it that much versus someone who wants to do it all the time? I, I mean, wow. I'm just kind of speechless to my own question. It's like I just can't imagine if if you're loving somebody and you're turned on to them and you're attracted to them and you both are sexual and you determined that from early on in your connection. I just can't imagine the fire dimming out. I mean, sometimes health conditions or as you get older, you may slow down a little bit. But I mean, that's like if you was doing it every day, you slow down to maybe doing it less a day, maybe 4 days instead of five. I mean, something like that. But I don't see it really sizzling out unless there becomes a disconnect in a way that there's other issues that's outweighing you wanting to be physically connected to that person anymore. And when it gets to that point, it is time to talk. It's time to fix it or just let it go because sex is important in any relationship. The physical connection is important. It's not everything, but it's very, very, very important. It's an intimacy, a bonding, a connection that a couple needs to come together and do. And you both determine what works for you as far as If you both are okay with twice a week, that's wonderful if that's what you both want. But if you got one mate that wants this and one mate that wants that, and both of you are frustrated, what do you do? What do you do, grown folks? I mean, when does it get to a point when you've just had enough of dealing with it like that? And, I think a lot of people decide to cheat because they are not feeling desired anymore at home. They're not feeling desired by their mate and wanting to connect, and affection and sex and stuff like that has just kind of gone out the window. Everybody's into bills and working and taking care of home and their career and, school and all these other things, kids, all these other things come into play where you just lost time for each other. And I'm going to tell you, you have got to find time for each other. Whether you got 100,001 things going on, you have got to find that time, because if you don't, they're going to find it with somebody else. And I mean, that's just keeping it 100. Even the loyal, faithful ones, sooner or later may break or crack if the right attention comes their way and they're not getting it from you. So on that note, you guys tell me what you feel, because I'm giving you my mature input about it, my wisdom advice about it, but I'm quite sure there's some of you who have a different way of putting this or presenting this. Perhaps you've been through it, somebody that's been through it, or you're going through it. We don't need all the details, but we just need to know what worked for you, or what type of advice that you give someone to help them deal with what they were dealing with, whether doing without the sex or doing with too much sex. On that note, this is your hostess with the mostest. Please join me on YouTube under Donna Smith, aka Lady D. Join me on Facebook under Donna Smith. Also Twitter, Miss Lady D 111. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love hearing what you guys have to say. Tell a friend, chime in. Let's be grown or let's be gone. Have a great evening.